While Iowa law bans racism in campus trainings, it's still taught inside the classroom. While critics of bans on racism in higher indoctrination have claimed such laws would prohibit professors' academic freedom, one class at the University of Iowa illustrates scholars are still very free to teach students about the controversial topic. We've covered how many stories like this? If you ban it, they're just going to find ways to sneak it in. It's just like with censorship in anime and video games. Those who are doing the censorship know we don't like it, but instead of not doing it, they just find ways to sneak it by us. So, if they don't know it's been censored, they won't bitch. Doing the same thing here. So next fall, the University of Iowa will offer identity and social issues, an English class that covers the transitional literature and post-colonial studies distributional requirement for the major. The course's official page describes the class as based in racism. You know what? Let me just give you this advice. If you are going to college or you're looking at a college and you see garbage like transitional literature and post-colonial studies as a requirement to graduate, you should turn around and find another school, one that's actually useful. Like any school that has this diversity shit as a graduation requirement is not worth the money you're paying. By the time you graduate, their reputation is going to be so bad that no employer is going to be hiring graduates of that school. We will examine the writings associated with legal and sociological discipline called racism, its description states. This discussion-centered course introduces three major theories of race and ethnicity as they have emerged in a global context. Yeah, see, now this one, they actually mentioned that they're racist right in the description. But remember when a lot of these wokies are challenged to define critical race theory, and they never do it? The reason they don't want to define it is because then they can't keep changing the words. So, like say, critical race theory is banned. We can't teach critical race theory anymore. Okay, they just rename it. They're just going to call it post-colonial social studies or something, but it's going to be the same thing. They're trying to avoid giving their own definition of what it actually is, because once they do that, they can't just slap a new name on it when the previous name gets banned. That's why they're trying so damn hard to avoid this. That's right. Diversity and inclusion equals my feelings, my one-sided politics. They wouldn't call it that, but same thing. Students are slated to read books or the works of controversial racist theorists such as Kimberly Crenshaw, Michael Omi, Bell Hooks, and Howard Winant, according to the description. Such scholars claim that certain ethnicities and gender identities are inherently oppressed by dominant white hegemonic power structure. The class seems to thumb its nose down in anti-racism law signed by Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds last year. And what are you going to do about it, huh? This would be a good time to cut funding to that school. Now, passed in June of current year -1, the legislation bans race or sex stereotyping or scapegoating at governmental institutions, including within higher indoctrination. The bill bans trainings that argue America is an institutionally racist or sexist country, or that individuals could be inherently racist, sexist, or oppressive. And I would argue that anyone that supports this shit is inherently racist, sexist, and oppressive. So, however, the law does not prohibit discussing specific defined concepts such as part of a larger course of academic instruction. With that, the racist course appears to pass muster under the law. HF 802 specifically exempts academic instruction from the ban. So Gene Beck, University of Iowa's Assistant Vice President for External Relations, said in an email to the College Fix. Oh, man. See, they always get you with your own standards and your own loopholes, man. Governor Reynolds had stated the law attempted to prevent ideological indoctrination in governmental institutions. You can't do that unless you outright ban it, you know? Like, there's no other way. That's true. If the conservatives weren't such cucks, they would go ahead and define it for them in the books. Then they would then have to try to strike that down and have to define it themselves, lest the ban passes. Absolutely. So racism is about labels and stereotypes, not education. It teaches kids that we should judge others based on race, gender, or sexual identity rather than the content of someone's character, Reynolds said in a statement as reported by We Are Iowa. I am proud to have worked with the legislature to promote learning, not discriminatory indoctrination. The law faced significant criticism by some University of Iowa professors, the racist ones, after it passed, claiming it misrepresents racism and it could potentially make it difficult for the university to recruit or retain minority faculty. Well, maybe if you wouldn't hire only the racist ones, this wouldn't be a problem. However, the university officials promised to comply with the legislature's orders, according to the report by the Daily Iowan. Exactly like we just covered. They will comply with the letter of the law, but they will find every way to dance around it. If you want to actually make a difference, you go and replace these fuckers on the school boards. You realize you could vote for them, right? Now, even if they want to fortify an election, if it's a blowout for the other side, they won't be able to.